audio to an HTML5 document. It's actually very easy, and I want to walk you through the process now. There are a few steps you have to know, otherwise it's a very simple process, very easy to code into your document. First, I want to show you I have a MP3 file right here on my desktop. If you do not have an MP3 file, you're going to want to convert at least your file to an MP3 file. Now, you do need to have 3 different file types to be able to cover all the different browsers. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So in the article on my website here, you can see I do have a listing of the browsers and what file types they support. Now, if someone's viewing your website on Internet Explorer, an MP3 is going to work the best for them. But now if they're using Chrome, they can use pretty much any type of file. Same thing with Firefox, it's very open to different file types. Now Safari is a little bit more limited. They do not support the OGG file. Opera does support all of them. It's really best practice just to go ahead and give all the different options here. I do see people just use MP3 sometimes, and that's fine too, but to cover your bases, those are the ones that you want to have. Now, I also have a list here of websites that will convert your files to the different file types, because converting or saving out an audio file as a WAV file or an OGG file is not super common depending on what kind of software you have, so maybe consider checking out one of these websites here. The one I like the best is onlineconvert.com. You can very simply upload your file. I'm going to go ahead and do a test here because I've just got the MP3 file for right now. So you can see here on the left hand side I can convert my file to any of these different formats. I've got the MP3, the OGG, and the WAV file option over here. And what we're going to do first is convert to OGG. It doesn't really matter which order I do this in. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my file. Just got one.mp3. And nothing you really need to do down here. All you have to do is hit the convert button at the bottom, and you can see it just uploading the file. Now, the speed of this will depend on the size of your file. Mine's very small just for demonstration purposes. So it's uploaded. Now it's going through the converting process, and as soon as that's done, it will download the file for you. So there we go. Got the one.ogg. I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to hit the back button, and I'm going to go through the same process again, but I'm going to do this for the WAV file again, just so I have all 3 to cover all my bases. And choose my file. I'm going to go back to the original MP3 file. You can see that's a little bit bigger of a file. It's 2.3 meg as opposed to the OGG, which is a little bit more compressed. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one.mp3 file for this instance. Always want to try to use the best version of it possible. And I'm going to go ahead and convert the file again. Again, it's going through the upload process, then it'll go through the conversion process, and then it'll download to my desktop. All right, so I've got all 3 files now. I've got my MP3, the OGG, and the WAV. All right, now what we need to do is go ahead into our HTML5 document, and I'm using Dreamweaver here. You can use whatever program you like. I like Brackets and some of the other ones as well. Sublime is a good editor, but for this instance, I'm going to go ahead and just create a new document, make sure it's an HTML5 document. Dreamweaver lets you pick the different file types up here, so I'm going to go ahead and say HTML and choose HTML5 from the options here. And you'll know it's HTML5 because the document head just says doc type HTML. It doesn't say, XHTML or anything like that up there. It doesn't say version 4. It just says doctype.html. All right, so within the body of my document here, I'm going to add a couple spaces because this is where I want it to go. All I have to do is add an HTML5 tag for audio, which is simply audio. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Now, there's nothing in between there at the moment. You won't see anything unless you put the actual links to the files in there. So just for linking purposes, I'm going to go ahead and save this to my desktop. Just so I've got the file paths all hunky-dory here. Now what I want to do is go ahead and put the audio source code in there, and all I do is say less than source, oops, helps if I can type it right, source equals, and I'll say 1.mp3. I should always put the MP3 first because that's the browser will go in order and say if I can read this first one, then I'm going to play this one. If I can't read this file, I'm going to move on to the next one. So I usually like to put MP3 first because it's the most universal, and simply close that out with the greater than tag. Now I'm going to repeat this 2 more times for my other 2 files, except I'll just change the extension down here to OGG and and my WAV file. All right, so all those should be linking properly within here because the source of the code is right next to them. They're not in a folder or anything. So all that right there should work. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save that file one more time, come over to my browser, open up a new tab. All right, and I don't see anything appearing here right now. Why? Because I haven't actually given it any controls or anything yet. So if I come back to my document here, within the audio tag, I have to give it some properties. So the first one I want to do is, let's say control. Say controls. Now what that's going to do is allow it to have some kind of a play, stop, rewind option here. I'm going to save that file. I'm going to come back to my browser. I'm going to hit refresh. Now you can see I've got the play button. I've got the audio control here. I can scrub it left and right. All right, so I know that's now working. And just to test it out, I'm going to go to View, Developer here. I'm going to take a look at the source code. Yep, it's the exact same document that I just uploaded. You can see it's reading right through the different options here. Now maybe I don't want to have those controls, but I want it to play. Or maybe I want to do some other things like just have it autoplay. There are other tags within here that you can use. You can say something like autoplay. So now the controls have gone away because I deleted that, and the music should automatically start. So I'm going to go back to my browser here, hit refresh. All right, I'll have to close that out to stop it. All right, so now I'm going to add just a couple tags in here. So I'll say controls. So now I've got both of them here. I'm going to save that, come back to my browser. All right, so now I've got both auto playing and the controls within here. There are other options too that you could do. You could say loop, which will let the audio just continue to loop over and over. So maybe if this was a background song for your website, that would be a good way to just let it continue playing over and over. There are other ones too. You could say muted. I don't really understand the purpose of that one. I guess it just prevents it from auto playing, but it's just an option to keep your music muted in the very beginning. So as you can see, adding audio to your HTML5 document is actually very simple. It used to be a lot more difficult in the past, but thanks to HTML5, it's made it super simple to add to your website. All right, if you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up below. And if you like these and some of the other ones that we've done so far, go ahead and subscribe to the Fine Point Design video catalog here in YouTube and stay informed when we post new tutorial videos.